Hey everyone, this is Dimitro from Sales Byte, and today I'm very excited to be joined by Stephen Black, who is a legendary marketer with more than a decade years of experience in marketing. So Stephen built multiple Amazon FBA brands, and he does consulting for large companies, and he's teaching marketing in his program for business owners like me. So, hi,
Mhm.
Stephen. How are you doing today?
Doing well, Dimitro. Thank you for the intro, and I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, thanks so much for joining. I know you're very busy with all the businesses going on and the
All right.
content. Yeah, but I appreciate it. I'm sure some people will benefit from it as you will drop some knowledge bombs as usual. So yeah, Stephen, I work with everything that has to do with Amazon. So today we're going to discuss basically marketing for Amazon, building brands, and
Sure.
just wanted to kick off with a little introduction about the situation. Like, 5, 10 years ago, it was almost enough to do some keyword research using a software to find some opportunity. Then you would order a good product on Alibaba, slap your logo on it, ship on Amazon, run some PPC, and you were almost good to go. But today, Amazon is way more competitive. It takes way more effort to be successful on Amazon, to launch products, and to get your market share. So usually from the people I talk to, they start on Amazon. There are cases when brands enter Amazon as to expand their revenue, but a lot of people I know, that's their like first business experience, or they just start on it. And once they get to some point, they realize they need a real brand, not just an Amazon listing or an Amazon storefront, but they don't know where to start. So basically, my first question is, where would you even start building a brand if you got some momentum going, you got a few products on Amazon, but not more than that? Like, do
Yeah.
you just get some social media pages, or where do you even start?
No. Okay. All right. Well, let's unpack this because you said quite a bit there, and I would love to connect the dots for people. The reason that most people sell, and in terms of the way they start, I think the reason that most people that we're talking about, and we know thousands of these people, they start on Amazon because Amazon is the easiest fill in the blank way to set up a business. You don't have to build your own website and worry about user experience and write, endless amounts of copy and set up landing pages and set up all the tracking on the back end and all this other stuff and then link up all the advertising channels and all that kind of crap. You don't have to do that. With Amazon, it kind of works one way. If you have a product and you can ship it in, you set up your listing on the back end and it propagates your product page. It's really that easy. And that's what appeals to it for most people. The other thing about it is because there seems to be less moving pieces up front, logically, it seems like it's an easier model to understand. Try to find a product that you think has enough demand to where you can get a part of that market. Now, that's where most people leave it, and there is a landmine field of mistakes made with that methodology. And that also links us to where people should start in terms of expanding. And the number one business fundamental that people miss on the Amazon platform with the methodology that you just talked about, which is what most sellers do, is also the first place they need to start in expanding. Not social media, not running big advertisements and all of that kind of thing. What is the outcome people are trying to buy when they buy your products? If you can't answer that question, pack it up, go home. That's it. So it works like this. People have a state of being where they are. And if they have a problem, that problem can be a genuine, I have an issue I need solving, or the problem could be, How do I go further into my passion space? That's another thing. Okay. But they also have their aspirational state. Like what do they want it to be? And it could be very easy. Something broke underneath my sink. I would like to not have water leaking everywhere under my sink. The third part of that is your product. Their product is the bridge in the middle that gets people from one place to the next. That's it. If something breaks under my sink, am I buying a DIY kit on Amazon? Do I call a plumber? Do I go on YouTube and watch a video? Do I go on Google and get a series blog article to where I can go step by step and fix it myself? Do I just need to go to the hardware store and get a different wrench so I can tighten things up myself? Those are all possible competitors to the Amazon product you might be selling to fix someone's sink, to take them from, damn it, I have a broken sink, to, okay, everything is fine and my wife's not going to yell at me anymore. That's what you really have to think about. You also have to understand, when people come to the Amazon platform, the data that you're seeing when we look at search term volume, right? When people, you got to think about how people are actually searching, and back up from the Amazon process for a second. When people come to Amazon to search, they're not interested in browsing. They already have an idea of what they want to see pop up when they type in their search terms on the keyboard, so that that item comes up and they can say, okay, whichever one looks okay, is like the nearest thing to what I had in mind and has the least opportunity of showing up and being terrible, I'll pick that one. I don't care who's selling it. As long as it looks like it's going to do the job decently, and I'm not going to have to deal with replacing it or it being garbage or something like that. Yeah. And you know how I can prove that people have no brand loyalty on Amazon? Ask yourself this question, especially if you're hearing the podcast. When's the last time you bought something on Amazon and you can name the seller? You can't, because you're not buying for their brand reputation or anything else like that. You're buying because it was one of the first things that came up without you having to waste time doing more searching that filled the criteria I just talked about. But that begs a hidden question. What made them look for that product? Where are they getting the answers to what their problems really are and what solutions to look for that led them to that search term and an item like yours in the first place? That's an outcome. That's what we really want. And it's the same as if we're looking for YouTube for guidance. It's the same if we take a coaching program, and I have probably 40 or 50 courses that I have bought that I list out, and I continually go back through because there's bits and pieces in each one that I'm like, that is the reminder I need, or I can use this part of this now for part of my process. But the number one step to getting off of Amazon, it doesn't matter the rest of the ecosystem you set up. I mean, it does, but it doesn't have to be complicated, is what is the outcome? Who are you selling to? Why do they need that outcome? The better you understand those two things, the better you're going to create all of the other pieces, including better listing copy. If you still want to use your Amazon product page as your checkout point, as the cashier, we can attract people a number of different ways. But when it gets down to it, if they can't see, oh, this business understands my problems from my point of view, and they're the easiest, most convenient, and fastest way for me to get the outcome I want. That's it. That's all people care about. So when you can set that up, the ecosystem that you set up around facilitating that journey, that's all it really comes down to. So that's the number one thing. Sit down and say, okay, what am I selling? What is it that people are really trying to buy? A famous example in Western culture, especially when we want to get engaged and get married, What do? We go out as men and we buy an engagement ring and we propose to the woman. What are we really buying when we buy an engagement ring? Do you know?
An outcome.
What outcome? That's what I meant.
We want like to get a yes from
No. We know she's going to say yes. She's not saying yes because of the piece of jewelry. And if she is, you better not try, because that's just a bad time. What we're buying when we buy an engagement ring is we're buying the emotional experience we get from her shock and surprise. That's what we're getting. Yeah. That's what it really is. So think about it like that. When we have something like a home organizational something, like, bookshelves, or, some kind of something, even to clean up like a bathroom counter, something simple, very, very common thing on Amazon. What are we really buying and who's really buying that? You might be looking at search terms, but I might be looking at, hey, that's a busy mom who would like to declutter her countertop to have some semblance of order so that she doesn't feel like everything is going haywire when she's dealing with young children in her bathroom. Or that might be a lady that is really into treating herself because she has a high stress situation or a high stress job, and being able to have all of her, potions and pieces in one place to have a routine of taking care of herself is how she resets to go on and take that role. That's the outcome you're selling. The more you directly punch people in the nose with that outcome, that's what they're buying, the more they're going to say, yes, that's exactly what I want. People aren't going to buy a bathroom organizer to say, well, it would be nice to get all of my crap in one spot so I don't feel like a pig when I walk in, or I guess I need more counter space. There's that other element underneath it that you really need to think about. It. Once you do that, you're good to go. That's what you really have to think about. And so that's where I would start. Because if we have three pieces, again, if we have a product that's acting as the bridge, and we know the aspirational outcome that somebody would buy that for, it's easiest to solve the first part of the puzzle, which is, who the hell am I trying to appeal to? And what of their problems am I trying to address? Because when you do this, you're putting it out there that you can service a demand that exists without relying on hoping that you've capitalized and made something to capture demand. If you don't know who you're hunting and you don't know what they're trying to get to, how can you possibly build a bridge to connect the two? Because that's really how you make the most money. You just sell tickets to that bridge. You take them from Problem Place to Paradise Island. That's it. And that's how you write your copy. That's how you set up any social media campaign or another store or advertising or anything. You have to get those three fundamentals down first. And most Amazon sellers, you think your market is saturated? Nope. Most Amazon sellers, when you talk about building a product and building a product for an outcome, most Amazon sellers don't know their ass from their elbow on that one. That's just what it is. They have no idea because they've never thought of that until they get someone that's done a lot of marketing. Like I did marketing for over 10 years before I even approached the Amazon platform. It was I'm the backwards guy. I went the other way, right? But the thing about it is, if you think about it, it makes the most sense because that's a business fundamental. That's what we're trying to do. Think about it as something as fundamental as when you go on a first date. You're going to look great. You're going to make sure that you're groomed properly. We don't look like a caveman going out there. You're going to be careful on how you speak. You're going to come off as honest as you possibly can without being so honest that you ruin the whole thing. And that's the thing. We're trying to be open and transparent to seem like we're trustworthy to the new date. But in reality, we're not telling them all the hangups and luggage and garbage that we really have as part of our story, and neither are they. But what are we really trying to get? Second date. Hopefully things can go from there. We're doing everything we can because we have an ulterior outcome in mind. This is why we say, oh, well, I want to take the date to this place, or maybe we'll do this kind of thing. And you select based on feedback, what am I really going to bring up to help get to that outcome? It's both sides manipulating each other to try to get to that outcome, if you're both into it, of course. But it's that simple. You just think about it like that. Say, what do I really want to get here? What, from their point of view, if they're buying this, who would this appeal to, and where are they trying to get? You know, think about the first date scenario. Are we going to a dinner? Are we going for a walk in the park? Are we going to go get a concert together? What's it going to be? And if you think about each of those very different first dates, you say, okay, wait a minute. If the outcome is a second date, that's a constant. What type of person would each of those differing first dates appeal to? Which one of those people do I want to go after? It's the same in products. It just, when you sell products, you make them pay for the outcome. That's all it is. So that's the big number one. That's going to be your 20% that brings 80% of your results, as if you follow the Pareto principle. Once you can link the avatar to what they're trying to get, and you realize your product does not matter. It's just how fast they can get from point A to point B, and you're presenting your product as the fastest, easiest to understand, most convenient way. That means they can pay dollars to get the outcome instead of making effort to get the outcome. That's number one. You can do that. You can have a brand off of Amazon, or you can expand on Amazon, or you can scale whatever. It doesn't matter the other touch points and how many you want to add, because it's all variations of that same principle. Does that help clear things up?
Yeah, thanks so much for such a detailed explanation, Steven. And you're totally right. Most of Amazon sellers, they don't understand this. And like I mentioned in the beginning, because usually it starts with a research using some software just to find a good product opportunity.
And let me pause you there for a second. The data that you're using on a Helium 10 or a Jungle Scout or a Viral Launch or something like that, that takes me back, right?
Yeah, we use Datadog now.
Yeah. But any of those tools, right? You have to realize the data that you're getting is only numbers from demand that is already being serviced well. It's demand that's already being serviced well. Until you understand an outcome and can track it back to who you're actually trying to service, we can't find a gap where we can service something better, because your product can be glue in that gap. And that's, I mean, you own the market there, and it's easy to find. You just got to figure out the outcome and who would really want that outcome. And there you go. And if you already have a product, you can start there. That's fine too. But again, that's the big step, is expanding how you're looking at how your product is bought by the market, and it's being bought to get to an outcome. And once you make that leap as an Amazon seller, the rest unlocks itself. Very easy stuff.
Yeah, definitely. So the next logical question would be, if you didn't do this research or you don't have the understanding in the first place, but you already have some products going on, so where do you go to get this info, to like listen to your audience of your product and understand what outcomes they're looking for, what problems to solve?
This is what you do. You take your broad match keywords, okay? And it can be broad product keywords, but I would prefer like broad niche keywords, okay? If you think, like, say you're selling kitchen accessories, okay, What do the kitchen accessories actually do? Don't tell me about the features. Let's say it's a food chopper. Okay. It's going to save you time. It's going to save you mess. Why does that matter? The why does that matter is an outcome. But you can take your broad match keywords, okay? Go to answerthepublic.com. Put your broad match keywords in there, and it will give you all of the questions people are asking around that product. All the who, what, when, where, why, how, like all that stuff. You'll get a lot of answers. And all of those answers are long tail Google searches that people are using to investigate how something like that might solve their problems. This is where you can backtrack one step and say, okay, wait a minute. These are the questions they're asking. Let me read some of this, because when they ask those questions, it will help tell me, oh, well, this is what they need for a food chopper. We might think, oh, well, it might save me some time and make less mess in the kitchen. But when you read benefits of using a food chopper, you might find some gem that tells you, hey, moms with young children, families with young children, and you want to get some of that family bonding time in, you can now involve your kids in meal prep time. Whoa, time out. Okay, well, there's one group I can appeal to. Okay, well, who else needs meal prep time? Busy professionals, people that are on the go, want to go to the gym doing heavy meal prep. There's 2-3 more markets that I can appeal to with one product. Because now, if we wanted to expand a little bit, when I talk about on my Amazon listing, let's start at ground zero, my food chopper, I'm not talking about the features. Stainless steel blades and this and that. Why does it matter? Saves you time, saves you meal prep. You can get the kids involved. It's little hands, safe. Got it. You see how much more of a connection that's going to give me than so many ounce size cup that you can chop crap into. Like, okay, why is that important? Save this many hours by not having to use a knife and a cutting board. Okay. But now, at the same time, when I want to expand, okay, maybe I do set up a landing page off of Amazon, even if it goes to the Amazon platform to check out. Sure. But now I can make advertisements on Facebook. I can make social media posts talking about the problems that parents have wanting family time. Getting them in the kitchen is a great idea. Here's a bunch of ways you can get them involved in the kitchen. Oh, and by the way, one of the fastest ways to do that is this food chopper. You're a busy professional. We know that everything is laid out. You're all about productivity and making the most of every minute. I get it. You're quick, you're on the go. Here's a productivity hack you're not thinking about. If you own a business, this is how I would sell entrepreneurs food choppers. If you own a business, how much is your time worth for every hour? Let's say it's $100 an hour that you're saying my time is worth $100 an hour. If it's not going to cost me $100 an hour to do it, I need to delegate it. Well, let's say using a food chopper instead of a knife and a cutting board, let's say it speeds up your meal prep process. And now you feel like you can meal prep more days eating out. You're saving that money and you're buying back 4 or 5 hours of time a week, which means by not getting the food chopper, you're costing yourself $500. What? Oh, shit. Okay. Well, that's way easier. Is dishwasher safe? I can just go bang, 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 and then just throw it in the dishwasher and I have all my veggies cut? Yeah. That's way easier. I don't have to drag out the knife. I don't have to wash the cutting board in between the veggies, and I can be done. Easy stuff. Easy stuff. Same thing with somebody that's in the gym. Hey, guess what? You pull out your veggies and they're all washed and whatnot. Throw them in the cup. Bang, bang, bang. Put them in the dish. Throw them in the cup. Bang, bang, bang. Put them in the dish. And that way, if you're in between sessions or if you're in the car on the go, you got your glassware, scoop and go, baby. Scoop and go. Get back to the gym, get to recovery, whatever you got to do. It's one product, but what did I do? I said, okay, let me go to Answer the Public. Benefits of using a food chopper. And the train leads itself. But those are actual questions people are asking, and that's how you compile it. Another good idea is when you put in your broad-based keywords in Google, you go straight to the bottom of page 1. The people also ask. Those are questions people are asking. And the cool thing is there's so much voice search now. Like over 40% of the search volume you're going to find is voice search. And how we search when we ask a question on Google is very different than how we type it in. And so when you find those long tail phrases, you can say, now I get it. And I've also said something else that a lot of people aren't going to pick up, but there's an extra layer to what I just said. When I go to Answer the Public and I get those questions that people are asking about a product, we talked about expanding. Well, if I'm going to use social media, what content do I use? You answer those questions. Your social media should be a pre-sales campaign. You're helping people become more aware of their problem and what solutions are available to get them from point A to point B again. That's all you have to do. By making them aware, you bias them toward first solution that you bring up that looks the best. Why shouldn't that be yours? It really is that easy. And then guess what? Once you get some content out there that's actually getting a little bit of engagement, the fish are nibbling on it. Cool. That's the content you put money behind to amplify the reach. Because you're like, okay, this appeals to people. People like it. Let me put a little money behind this so I can increase the amount of people I'm making aware that I can sell this product to, and that this is the product to go get. And here's why. Because you're not talking about product features. When we get a product from data, the Amazon process, we get a product from data, we go get it manufactured, we get it shipped into FBA, right? Okay, what is everybody's product listing talked about? Features, features, features. It's all about my product. It never talks about how the product solves the problem of the buyer. And those that do kill it. They kill it. Market saturation, my ass. All you have to do is say, aha. Yes, it has this and this and this. Why are the stainless steel blades on my food chopper important? I can tell you why. Because they're easier to clean, and you're not going to have to worry about them rusting or getting bacteria and germs all over them to make your children sick when you feed them. Whoa. Well, I want that. That's a whole different reason to buy a food chopper than you don't have to pull out the knife and cut the veggies. Totally different. And people will buy more on that. It's that way with every single product. There's not a product you can name that sells at all that doesn't deliver an outcome. They are only the bridge. Ever. Think about something. If I were going to buy a $3 million car, why am I buying a $3 million car? Is it just because the $3 million car is an outcome? No. Maybe I did something gigantic in business, and that's my trophy from the hunt. That's my reward from that chapter. Okay. Or it's because I want to be the guy that gets treated as people treat the guy in a $3 million car. Yeah, it's an outcome. And these companies, all of the companies we admire, they know that. They know that. Here's an example. Ready? You'll never see Rolls Royce make an advertisement, right? And they have a waiting list. They don't even advertise at car shows anymore. Do you know where Rolls Royce advertises their vehicles? Private plane shows.
Yeah.
Because the people that are buying private planes for $5, $6, $8, $10 million. A $500,000 car seems like a bargain, but it's appointed similar to that private jet. It's like a private jet that you drive around.
Yeah.
Why don't you say yes to that? Because you don't buy a Rolls Royce, you commission one. That's the word. I know, because I went and talked to the bastards just to kind of get in the head of the process. Yeah. Yeah, it's unbelievable. You're buying it for an outcome. People buy Rolls Royces because they want that level of luxury, because they see themselves as that kind of person that lives that kind of life. And Rolls Royces are notoriously silent. When you drive them, they are dead silent on the inside. You can have a very low voice conversation between two people driving down the road. It's crazy. Go down the road 100 kilometers an hour, don't hear anything, not even the tire noise. That's what people buy them for, because they're so busy. They're so, in their business. They want that place of calm. And so Rolls-Royce puts it next to private jets. And they say, here's the outcome. Maybe you have to, do your private jet here and there, but you can have that kind of environment to where you can have space to yourself driving around. Even something that high end. So we went from food chopper to Rolls Royce. Anything in between is the exact same thing. Even professional services. Why do people go to therapists? Because it's easier to buy expertise to unpack the problems that we have and have a buddy in the room that we're paying to help face those problems than to just write down our damn problems and unpack them and face how ugly we've made our own lives. Yeah, sure. Let's spend money instead of making the hard effort. That's why people buy things. So once we know that's the process of how we buy everything, let's game that in our favor. Yeah, that's how you do it. So from there's a 5-step framework. So once we understand what we're trying to do, when you want to expand, there's 5 pieces. This is any business you can name. They have 5 pieces. Attraction, traffic. How are we getting strangers to come and talk to us? Lead flow. What are we putting out there that somebody says, that tastes good. I think I want another bite of that. When I talked about taking the things we found on Answer the Public and making content out of those questions, people can self-identify and say, wait a minute. Yeah, that is my problem. Oh, well, doggone it. That's a different way of going about it. I like that. What else do you have? They become a lead. So that's step 1. They have to develop a relationship with to have 2-way conversations. That can be an email. That can be in a community. Sometimes that can be a YouTube channel, because a YouTube channel can sub out for a dedicated community space, like a Facebook or a Discord server or, something like that. But you want people to have the opportunity to have 2-way conversations with you and interact with your content when you answer other people's questions, because that's them. They're able to then test drive what it's like to do business with you. So maybe they're still in figuring out their problem phase. They're not ready to buy something yet, but they're moving toward it. And they want somebody that they can say, okay, I like what this person has to say, but I'm not ready to buy something yet. Let me see more of their ideas and how that might get me to where I really want to get to. And that way, when I get the opportunity, I can spend some money and fast forward it. And gang, the best way to get people to spend money is to get them a result faster or easier. And if you can do both, even better. We pay for speed. We pay for convenience. That's it. That's what we want. So once you link up the outcome and you use your product to show them how much faster you get there, you convert more. So we have, how do we get strangers to talk to us? That's lead flow. That's attractions. That's step 1. Relationships, give them a place to talk to you. That's step 2. It can be an email. Email's wonderful. It's my favorite way to get people involved. Okay. Number 3 is conversion. Where are they checking out? Is it still going to be the Amazon platform? What are the trade-offs in having everything on the Amazon platform for the checkout process versus your own storefront? You don't have customer data on the Amazon platform, meaning to ad networks where you can scale your ads much faster. You don't get retargeting information to where if somebody abandons cart, you can then go back in and chase them around a little bit. Think about it. If you have 100 people come to your site, you get 35 people, 35% really, to add to cart. Then what? Well, if you can actually have a real store and have abandoned cart flows where you can get that email, you'll recover 10% of those with a decent abandoned cart sequence. So if your conversion rate is only 3%, you just doubled it. Whoa, I'll take that just by saying yes to a store where I can email people when they bounce. That's an easy yes. Very easy yes. So attraction, I'm going to keep going through these. Attraction, relationship, conversion. The fourth one, what happens when they pay you? What's the deliverable experience? If they're going on Amazon only, it's transactional. They don't want to know you. You're the same as the person who brought them their food. They don't want to go out and hang out afterward. Like, you're nice in the moment. Thank you so much. It was a lovely time. You go that way. I go this way. They want it to be transactional only. Whereas if you develop things, you can give them a deliverable experience where you can touch them in a more personalized way once they're off the platform. Even if it's just email, maybe you don't even have a whole store set up, but if you have an email list and you're running Amazon sales to your email list, what's stopping you from sending a personal thank you video to everybody who bought to where they get to see the person? What an easy way to farm reviews, just by giving them a little more, touch after the sale. I use an app called Bonjoro on my Shopify stores, and it's fantastic because however many sales I make, let's say it's a new store, make 10 sales for the day. I get an email that says, hey, you got 10 Bonjoros. And it may say, hey, Dimitro bought the extra large size food chopper. You get a 30-second video. Hey, Dimitro, Steven here. Just wanted to thank you for buying that food chopper. I saw you got the big one. I imagine you must, be in the gym or have a big family and you got a lot of meal prep to do. It's going to be on its way tomorrow. We got your order a little late today. In the meantime, if you want more ways to do better meal prep and get more recipes, check us out in our little community right here. You can talk to me there. You can talk to the other gang there. Looking forward to seeing you soon. And if you have any problems with your order, if you have any questions, just email me back. Looking forward to talking to you soon. Bye. Your mind just went, what? What just happened? And can I get to everybody all day? And my staff get to everybody all day when we start getting orders at scale? No, we can't. But if you make it to where the first 30 to 50 people out of your order pool each day get those, what's your retention rate become? What happens in 10 days when you send them the complimentary product? Hey, did you like the food chopper? Do you know about our meal prep containers? Whoa. Oh, okay. And since you already bought one, we're giving you the exclusive deal. Yeah, that's how you do it. But with that personal touch, it's quite different because you can add content in there. You already understand the avatar from Answer the Public. You see where all the pieces start connecting. The only Amazon part of it is that where they want to check out. That's step 3. Attraction, lead flow. If you don't have lead flow, your business is dead. Dead. Relationship, where do they get to know you? Conversion, where are they checking out? And how can we get them to buy more when they're there? Connect them to the outcome. That's all you have to do to convert more. That's your copy. That's your A+ content. That's your images. Put them in the scenario that they want to be. This is why when you see travel agency kind of stuff, you always see it on some pretty beach somewhere. Family's always smiling. Whereas all the vacations I've taken, there's been some nice points, but there's also pandemonium involved. Yeah, we've all been there like, oh, okay, well, that went sideways, right? They don't show those pictures, but we all know it's going to be part of it. But we want that aspirational family shot where everybody's smiling. Nobody's like complaining it's too damn hot outside. Like, can I just get one moment to where it all worked? Yeah, I'll pay for a vacation for that. That's the aspirational outcome. Okay. Attraction, relationship, conversion, deliverable experience. One more thing about that. What's your packaging experience like? When they open the box, do they feel like it's some product just put in a brown box because that's the best way to get it to your mailbox? Or do they feel like they're unboxing treasure like it's a damn event? How much weight does the box have? Your insert? If it's a throwaway piece of paper, good luck. Your insert needs to be an attention capture device. If it's instructions on how to use your product, how colorful is it? How many folds is it? Is it in a unique shape? Can they, like, does it pop up? Like, what is it? What's going on there? If you give them homework to do, like, hey, scan the QR code for blah, blah, blah. Oh, okay. It's not going to be nearly as effective. Another way to do it is you can put like a plastic card in there, like almost like a credit card kind of thing, but it's a business card, and say, hey, this is where you can go. Video instruction, join our community. We'd love to hear from you. That extra like premium touch goes a long way. When you package your product, what do you want them to touch first when they unpack it? Have you even thought about that? Because their first touch point and that's the first thing they get, whether it's seeing your packaging, the first thing they see and touch when they open the box, that's their first bit of feedback for seeing, am I getting what I paid for? Or is this junk? And oftentimes it might be a great product, but if it's packaged like it's just a throwaway idea, you're like, oh, okay, well, I guess this will work. And now you're looking for all the ways that it's junk. But if it's very carefully put together, like it's a gift wrapped thing, you go, oh, okay, I didn't expect to get all that.
Yeah,
how
like
else is this
Apple
amazing?
products, you know?
Exactly. They go through all this packaging for this little bit of electronics. Why? Because it feels like you're having an unboxing event. It feels like you're opening a treasured item. Okay? Because the first thing you see biases you toward looking for other things about the experience and the product itself that give you that feeling, that reinforce that feeling. So if it's junk, now you're looking for why the product is junk. You don't get to experience it objectively. If it's premium, you go, oh, well, okay, then. I had no idea. Well, look at that. That's really cool. I didn't think about that. Oh, man. Okay, yeah. How much easier is it to get a review when you do that? Just because you manipulated the deliverable experience. It's crazy. People don't think about that. And I'm like, gang, just $1 or $2 extra. I will pay $2 or $3 extra for the premium experience. You can have the dollar as profit. Like, come on. It's easy stuff there. And then the last one is, of course, retention. Once they buy from you, how are you giving them incentive to come back and talk to you again? The only reason people are going to give you time to keep coming back for more is because you have a place where they can interact and see that you can solve more of their problems. And gang, once you sell them one thing, you've sold them more problems. Let's go back to the food chopper example. Okay. The family with small children, they want to get them involved in the kitchen. Little hands, it doesn't require a ton of pressure, but they can help chop food. Great. What's the new problem? Now you've got kids in the kitchen. Can they reach all the countertops? No. Oh, here's this stool. Kid-friendly. Here's kid-friendly meal prep containers. Here's kid-sized oven mitts or what have you to help grab hot food. Oh, well, that's really cool. Now they can help with that. Interesting. Here's kid-friendly way to help them clean the dishes and the knives, like a kid-friendly glove to where they can help clean the knives without cutting their hand open. Whoa, okay. Now, wait a minute. I manufacture a food chopper. What about all this other crap that you were talking about? Well, if you got an email list, you can sell affiliate products for all of that. They bought your food chopper. Why can't they buy all of those other things, but you get a kick for it, baby? That's how you get more profit from the same customer. That's that retention. Maybe they didn't even think about it, but they said, okay, well, let me see what's going on. I'm coming back to this Facebook group because I bought this food chopper for me and the kids. Oh, man, I thought it would be stuff in the kitchen, but it's all kind of ways to better connect with your kids. They just happen to sell a food chopper, but it's actually like a parenting hacks thing. And now I can push all of these other affiliate products in between or in addition to my food chopper that I manufacture. So now I'm selling everybody's products, even though I only manufactured one, because I understood what the outcome really was people were trying to get to. Okay, so name platforms: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Pinterest, blogging, YouTube. It doesn't matter. You can arrange them against those 5. Social media is for snacks. Get them to take a bite, but don't give them more. Don't make them full on social media or they won't go deeper. Once you've helped them identify a problem, solve the problem for free to get them on your email. Give them something they can play with: a listicle, a swipe file, a calculator, a set of tools. Something that speeds them to solving that problem faster. You're building goodwill. Okay, now you've got them on the email list, and this can also be a community. Sure. Now I make those offers. Where are they checking out? Shopify store, standalone lander, with a Stripe account, Amazon, whatever it is. How incredible is my deliverable experience? Maybe they get a thank you video. Maybe the packaging is just great, or maybe the packaging is simplified so they don't have a lot of excess crap to tear through, but it's well thought out. You're thinking about how they want to unpack it, so to speak. It's like when you're moving houses. My wife, when we were moving houses years ago, it was like, no, I want you to pack it a certain way so that we can unpack it when we get there a certain way. I'm like, there's a lesson in there. That's your deliverable experience. And then, okay, if you've done these other pieces right, what incentive are you giving them to come back for more? Can you solve more of their problems? Yeah. So that's how you start in one place and you expand. That's it. You go deeper in your community. Social media is for snacks. Get their attention. Email and community, deeper content. And the rest of it is sales and bringing them back for more. And the once you sell somebody, they're the easiest people to sell over and over and over again, because they already know that they're going to get more than what they thought they paid for when they get the item. And it's only because you've helped them make the connection without them having to think about how to use the thing to get to the outcome. When you spell it out for people, you take all the thinking out, they feel smarter for using your product. It's like when Steve Jobs made the iPhone. He said, if you're using your iPhone wrong or if it's not working, it's probably upside down. It's that easy to understand. We don't need a big manual for how to punch the buttons on the iPhone and figure out what to do. Make it that easy for your customers to get from where they are to where they really want to be. If your product does that as fast and as easy as possible, charge more for it because they'll pay for it. And that's how you expand on all the pieces. Does that work for tying it together there, Dimitro?
Yeah, that's really a wealth of knowledge, and a lot of notes can be taken from that. And yeah, just some thoughts I had, like just a few days ago, I saw two commercials, and that's about like solving the problem. One was for the food delivery, and I usually use it because, yeah, I want to save time to have more time to work on my business. So I usually order food. And the commercial was about it, like, order food, save your time so you don't have to cook, you don't have to do the dishes. And then another commercial actually of a dishwasher, and it was all about how it does a good job with cleaning the plates and all of that. But one thing I realized they like did mention about that it saves time, especially if you have like a large family, plates pile up. So they explained well about how it does, again, good job with cleaning, but not saving the time, which would be more important for me. Maybe for someone, it's more about the cleaning part, but for me, it's
think about something. As entrepreneurs and business owners, we're conscious about our time because there's a monetary value. But when you get a big family together, or when you tie it to how people interact with their families, that's the real end goal of making more money, is being able to do more with your family. That dishwasher, I would have run the advertisement as, it will save you time with your big, dealing with a big family. Or I would have done something like, it all starts with dating, but their family grows, and I would have more plates and more plates and more plates, and all of that stacked up in the kitchen. We've got to eat some kind of way, and we've got to eat some kind of where. If you do the dishwasher, it's not about how much time you're saving for the effort on washing the dishes. How much time are you buying back for yourself, where you don't have to run after your family? Because for all of us that, have big responsibilities at home outside of our businesses and in relationships and everything else, anytime we can get to where we can check out, and if I can get 1 hour a day to where I can just sit, and if I choose to do nothing, it's wonderful. Nobody bothers me. That is more valuable than all the money I made for the day. And so that's the deeper outcome that I'm talking about. So when you sell the dishwasher, talk about how much time the parents are going to get back for themselves. Do this every day for a week, and you just bought yourself a date night. Whoa. Okay. Yeah, I want a date night. Yeah. All I got to do is get the dishwasher, and I can save enough time and headache and stress to where we'll both be in the mood to want to go out on a date again. Yeah, let's do that. That's the real outcome. You can tie a product to an outcome a lot of different ways. And then once you do that, again, go to answer the public with some of your broad match keywords from the niche, and it will bring up the questions people are asking, because the questions are what lead people to consider the products we're selling as a pathway to the outcome. The price tag is just, how much do you want the outcome? That's it. That's all it has to be. And how exclusive is the offering? Like, how many places can you get to the outcome? That's where price competition comes in. But if I'm the only one offering the outcome, okay. And if my time has to be involved in getting you to the outcome, the price just went up. That's why people like attorneys and accountants and everything, they're so expensive, because they know the outcome you're after. We do not want to get in trouble with the law or, the revenue service. And they're like, well, I have to be involved, and a lot of people want my time, so that's why this costs so much. And you go, I want the outcome of not being in trouble, so I'll pay whatever you say. That's how that works. But it's the same thing. So it can be service-based, business-based, Amazon, and that puts you in the position of using Amazon properly as well. Because what is Amazon's product to the world? Trust. Trust and convenience. That's what Amazon sells. Everyone knows when you buy something on Amazon, if it comes in bad or if something's wrong with it, you can take it up with Amazon. They'll deal with the vendor, but you can fix it with Amazon. That's a lot more trust than dealing with some standalone website, company, third-party thing, which is why all of us when we have those standalone places, we put our face on there. We put people on there. It's not just a company. It's like, this is who we are. This is who you're dealing with. And so, like I send in the deliverable experience segment, when I send those thank you videos, that adds to the, okay, there's a human being behind this. Like, if I want to talk to somebody, I can just say, yeah, what about this? Sure. That makes it much, much better. And these are fundamentals that if you put them in place, it's not a lot of work. And I gave you the framework, the 5 pieces. You say, okay, I'll use Instagram and TikTok to get people to email where I can sell my product and affiliate products, maybe, because those complement each other. And then I can make great packaging, probably do a little work there, sure. And then if they're on the email list, as long as they don't unsubscribe, I can solve more of their problems. That's an automatic loop. Done. They can check out on Amazon if they want. I don't have to build all the other crap. What do I put in my email? All the answers to the things you find people are asking questions about, because that's the natural process. Don't make it overcomplicated. It's that easy. And guess what? Amazon's not a content platform. People aren't searching for answers to those questions on Amazon, are they? Nope. And if you get a hold of people before Amazon, like say with Google ads on long-term search terms, the cost to get a customer is 10 to 20 times less expensive. So if you're paying $2 a click on the Amazon platform, putting ads against and some content out against the question that they're asking that leads them to that product, that might only cost you 10 to 20 cents per click. That's a huge difference. Huge, huge difference. You might even be able to get people into email for that. I'd play that game. I do play that game. You know that. But any business at any scale, that's the framework that I've always used, whether it's my own businesses, and I've had all kind of businesses. I've been at this since 2006, so 16, 17 years, whatever it is. But yeah, that's the framework. How if I have a product, okay, that's my deliverable as part of the deliverable experience. How do I assemble the other pieces around it? And when I want to convert more for the dollars I'm spending to get leads, how do I better connect them to the outcome? That is the magic sauce. All of our A+ content, all of our copywriting hacks, all the other stuff to get people to convert more. The real optimizing your listing. Don't be a dipshit. Optimize it for the outcome, and you will sell more. People optimize around search terms. Cool, you're being found more, but now you're using sometimes even like technobabble to talk about your features. What's in it for them? That's the only thing they're interested in. Help connect them to the outcome. If you're going to mention a feature, you're going to be found guilty of that feature. Great, you mentioned it does this. Why is that important to me as a buyer? Tell me that. Okay, well, now I don't have to think. I understand how that fits into my life. If that's going to speed up me getting to the outcome, and I say, oh, I understand that. Oh, well, that's going to be easy to use. Bye. That's how it works. It's that simple. It doesn't matter where we buy it. It always works like that. It could be at the regular store. It could be, in person, standalone store, Amazon. That's how it works. And if you really want to study this is the craziest thing because it's all fundamentals. Go back and study someone like Gary Halbert with his direct response copywriting, where we used to have to write out ads in a catalog or a magazine or a mailer. And just think about what they're trying to sell as an outcome and how they go through this thing to put that thing into your life. They're putting the outcome into the world that they know exists, that you're living, so that you will take the time to cut the stupid thing out and print your things on it and mail in the check with the money and wait all that time to get the thing. Well, now we just click 2 days Prime. It's not any different. And the people that are winning big, the big companies that we all know well, they have copywriters that write those listings to the outcome and connecting people. Your product is a connector. Just assemble the other pieces to amplify how you're bringing people in and how much you can sell them, because you're bringing them back for more. That's how you do it.
Yeah, that's really great.
You know me, you've been with me for a long time. You know that I think differently than most of the other Amazon people. You know that.
Yeah, I'm in your program, so
Yeah.
a lot of those tactics are familiar to me, and we are implementing a lot in our business. So it definitely works. And actually, just wanted to mention another cool tactic I heard, and I think it was Helium 10 podcast, but not sure. And it's about building the brand loyalty, incentivizing your customers. So the guy was selling, I don't remember exactly what, cookies or something. So there were like 10 pieces in a pack, but he would actually put 12, so 2 extra, but without mentioning it on the package. But inside he would put a note. It's just like, hey, thank you, there are 2 extra cookies, but it's only between us,
So good. So
yeah.
good.
Yeah, it's really easy tactics like that. It costs, like a few extra cents or $1 to put those extra cookies or whatever, but the amount of value you're going to get back over time is insane.
Yeah, absolutely. Something like that where you're giving more than someone expects, they're going to get the same reaction in their brain is like winning the prize on the slot machine. So they're going to come back if they need to and buy again to try to get the jackpot again. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And because the jackpot in this case is getting more than they feel like they paid for. Your reviews are only if it's way, way short of what they were expecting or way, way more than they were expecting. That's how you get your reviews. So there's a lot of levers that you can pull for better positive reviews and more of them just by going above what they expect, but you have to know what they expect first. So I love it. That's a great lesson.
Yeah. We'll see when I think we're clocking in over an hour.
Okay.
So I don't want to be taking more of your valuable time, but yeah, you already dropped so much wealth of knowledge. I think people have a lot of notes to take and implement all of these ideas in their business. And maybe someday we can do a part 2. So
I would like that. If they made it all the way to the end, again, gang, the easiest place to start when you want to start any of this process, take your broad-based keywords, go to answerthepublic.com. It will give you all the questions people are asking. Even if you don't expand off of Amazon yet, but you want to optimize more on your Amazon listing first, start with those questions and say, okay, what is the real outcome they're trying to get? Why does it matter? Like, just take a second and think. Write down about 20 different ideas. The first 5 to 8 are going to be obvious. What you get after that are probably closer to the real outcome because you're really having to think. Put that in your listing, you'll sell way more and your conversion rate will go way more. And you'll probably be able to charge more too. Experiment with that once you optimize around the outcome. And that's a great way to start. If you feel like the other pieces are overwhelming, start there. That will give you a lot to go on, and your customers will thank you because you're making it easier for them to buy because they understand what your product will really do for them in their lives, as opposed to just looking at product features and trying to guess.
Yeah, so yeah, that's another great advice, Steven. So if someone wants to follow your advices or get a consultancy from you or enroll into the program, which I'm a part of, where is the best way to reach you?
The best way to reach me, I'm on Facebook the most of my social platforms. Just you can look up Ask Stephen Black is the page where you can reach out to me. Of course, I have my personal profile on there, but I get so many messages there that going to the page is actually an easier way to get a hold of me these days. And if you want to get involved with the program, the links are going to be over there. If you want me on your team, just reach out and ask, and I'll give you all the ideas, and if it works for you, it works for you. It's not for everybody, because as Dimitri would tell you, I go pretty deep. Once we get involved, let's figure out all the pieces and let's cut the fluff out. But Dimitri, thank you so much for bringing me on. If you want to do this again, if you feel like there's more we should unpack, if it would help your audience, I'm happy to share more. Just trying to help other people win and make it all a little less confusing, because this game is not easy. And when we get these insights, if we can put them to action, that's what I'm all about.
Yeah, thanks so much, Steven. It was an honor and a lot of valuable lessons just for free here, not even paid. So yeah, all the links will be down below. If anyone is interested, you're definitely going to benefit from it. So yeah, thanks so much again, Steven.